Okay, so as the call is getting recorded now let's start with the IELTS book. So as in the IELTS book, you can see there is an index in which all the things are mentioned, like IELTS reading week one, reading week two, reading week three, week four. What is week one, week two, week three, week four? This is according to this program scheduler, as you can see here. Here is the IELTS program scheduler. I hope you can see the screen being shared with you. In the week one, you are
Yes.
going, yes, you are going to do like on the Mondays. So first of all, you'll be telling the candidate that you have to come in the class or in the online or the offline class 4 days in a week. Okay, that is Monday to Thursday. And Friday, there will be a mock test which you'll be giving at home, at your own home, seeing the COVID situation, right? So on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, what you're going to do, you're going to run a class of minimum 1 hour duration. Okay, Monday you'll be doing reading, and you are going to cover certain concepts which are like this, which are you can see, which I'm highlighting here. It is like the concept of MCQ, true false not given, and MCQ and true false not given. So first of all, you need to understand what MCQ is and what true false not given is. So MCQ means multiple choice question. True false not given, as you know, that most of the questions in the IELTS exam are related to true false not given. These are one of the types of question which comes in the exam. Now, for doing it, you are going to do a class activity, or you are going to take up an example of these two passages, or particularly these two things, which we call it as the IELTS reading paragraphs, which are by the name of Indian Marriages and William Comfamba, right? So, we are going to use this to explain MCQ, and William Comfamba will be explaining true false not given to the candidates. Now, as you can see, in the class, apart from the class activity, there is assignment of week one. So there will be week one passages. So there will be various passages which are there in week one, which he or she has to attempt after the class in 1 week span of time. I mean, in 1 week, after understanding the concept, he or he will be preparing for all those things. Okay, till next 1 week. So what are these? I'll be telling you. Similarly, there is on Tuesday, you can see that there is a speaking concept. So here we are going to talk about the speaking, and particularly various things in speaking. That is the concept of background questions. We are going to start for. So first of all, we are going to talk about the background questions which are there in IELTS. Okay, on Tuesday, as per this scheduler. Now on Wednesday, you are going to talk about writing. What type of writing is this? You're going to initially start with the concept of word limit as per the answer sheet. Sample of essay. It is not a simple format of essay. Okay, so it is simple format of essay. Then letter or graph. Basic parameters of like IELTS, that is brainstorming, paraphrasing, cohesion, coherence, lexical responses, grammatical range and accuracy. And after this, you are going to do a class activity, that is writing an essay. Then there would be assignment, four essays, four letters, four graphs over a week of time, which he or she has to deliver to you. Right. Now, the fourth day would be Thursday, that would be listening. So, the concept would be listening tips. So, you are going to explain him or her the listening tips, and you are going to do a class activity of 115, 116, 117, 118, 119. These are what? These are the various types of listening activities which comes in the exam. These are various types of, like the types of listening we are going to show, like for particularly like multiple choice question, maps, or table completion. Various types of like we are going to give him an exposure about what type of listening can come in the exam. That is from 115 to 122. He or she would be doing 8 different activities with you in the class, or in a form of assignment. Now, the next is Friday, as you can see, mock test. So, mock test 101 you'll be giving to him or her, which I'll be sharing, and he or she is going to do that exam by Sunday, and she or he would be submitting it back to you by Sunday. So this is how week one will be completed. And after Sunday, you will be having a good report in your hand that where this student stands, is he up to the mark or not? What are his or her weaknesses? Where he is doing good, where he is not doing good. And then in the next week, you are going to work on his weakness. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Pooja, are you there?
Yes, sir. Sir, sorry to interrupt. I wanted to ask, like, I followed this schedule only, na?
Okay,
Like
yes,
when I
you
was taking classes.
yes, you have.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so Rainy has trained you, I believe, right?
Yes, sir. And I
Right.
followed this schedule only.
Yes, yes. She would have trained you using this. Okay, so she
Mm-hmm.
was also a very good trainer. I mean, she is there with us. Okay, so she is a good trainer, and
Okay.
she is managing the trainings of Shakti also actually. Okay, so what we are going to do now next is, so we are going to talk about this week one Monday reading. Okay, so let's see how it looks like. Okay, so I'm turning it onto the page number, next page number. This book is going on page number next. So it is like a basic program scheduler. Then we are moving on ahead to the reading week one. Now here comes the week one, which is like multiple choice questions and proof of concept. So we are going to talk about this first. Okay, so week one, reading, multiple choice question, proof of concept. So here from here the book starts, and we are going to talk about this. So here is Indian marriages, as you can see. So it's a very simple passage. Now, as a trainer, how as a person like who is taking training, oh sorry, who would be called as a trainee. So you, as a trainee, what you need to understand is how to deliver it to the students. So, see, first of all, as I told you that we are going to talk about the concept of MCQ, that is multiple choice questions. Without multiple choice question, this question, this exam is almost incomplete because most of the areas you will be seeing multiple choice questions coming in. So, first of all, Indian marriages, why this? First of all, you need to ascertain that how good is the student in his multiple choice question. So, you're going to talk about this and you're going to give him the three paragraphs to read, the paragraph 1, 2, and 3. So, he or she would be reading these three paragraphs, and in the on the next page, as you can see, there are three questions are there, 1, 2, and 3. These three questions are taken from particularly from these three paragraphs, paragraph 1, 2, and 3. So once you will be reading this three paragraphs, you will be understanding that how to answer these three questions. Question number 1, 2, and 3, wherein you need to circle one. That means you need to tick mark one. That means you need to opt for one answer. Okay, so that's why it is called a multiple choice question, because you are having four choices per question and you are going to select one out of these, right? So what you'll be doing is you'll be just reading these three questions, and you'll be moving and you'll be taking those three questions, right? Now, what happens is generally people do what after reading this, like as we can read this first one. Okay, so requesting everyone to read first concept of this, that is the first Indian marriages, as you can see here it is written. So please go through this. Tavinda, can you please read it for us? Yes, Tavinda, are you there?
Yes, yes, sir. Sir, actually,
Yes,
I
Tavinda.
don't have a book. I will read with this screen recording. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
Marriage
Can you
is
read it? Yes, yes,
yes.
why not? Please.
Marriage is one of the oldest human institutions, and this is true in Indian culture as anywhere else. In Indian marriage, called Kanyadan or donating a virgin is thought of as greatest sacrifice that a father can make, and for the groom as an obligation to perpetuate his bloodline. Many people believe that a marriage is still binding after death.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. So now, as you can see from reading from here to here, what you have got is like now you'll be reading the question. Okay, so this is the question. In India, weddings are number one, a duty for a man to continue his family, a duty for, a thought to end at death, a duty for the father, or seen as a benefit for the father. So we are going to answer one out of these four. So, as you can see, when you read this particularly, I mean, this one paragraph from marriage is one of the oldest human institutions. So, what you'll be seeing is like that most of the people would be answering it as this particular thing. Sorry, most of the people would be answering it as either a duty for the father or seen as or thought to end at the thought to end at death. Okay, so most of the people say that it is a duty for the father. Okay, but what happens is, I'll be telling you just a minute. So we'll be telling the candidate to read it. So and read it and decipher it. So the candidate will be reading it like this: like marriage is one of the oldest human institutions, and this is to Indian culture and as everywhere else. Then you'll be asking for the exact meaning of this first sentence. Okay, so I'll be asking you people. Okay, okay, tell me, Ankur, what do you think about it?
Actually, sir, in this particular passage, marriage is the oldest human institution, as this is a true Indian culture. So, what we are talking about is we are talking about the marriages which are being held in the Indian society, as in the age of the hello.
Okay, tell me.
Uh, um, that's it, sir. According to me, it's just a kind of a you can say a religious practice,
Right.
and they name it as in Kanyadan or donating a virgin.
Okay, thank you. Pooja, what do you think about it?
So I think it's saying that it's a old tradition
Okay,
and it's very important for Indian culture as anywhere else. So marriage is oldest human institution. It's symbolizing that only.
right. Avinda, what do you think?
Sir, I think it's an obligation, so it's like a duty, maybe. It's a thing that must happen.
Okay, right. Thank you. So now I'll be telling you in detail like what it is exactly. Like as far as like if you're reading an IELTS related reading, so how you will be deciphering it. So marriage is one of the oldest human institutions, and this is true in Indian culture as anywhere else. So first of all, you need to do one thing as a candidate, that you need to like if you're thinking that you're not understanding some of the text somewhere. So what you're going to do is you're going to break this sentence into two parts, and for breaking, generally you use a conjunction, that is and, right? And or other things, for, and, nor, yet, whatever. But here and is there. So first of all, we are breaking the sentence into two parts at and. Okay. So now we'll be saying that okay, marriage is one of the oldest human institutions, and this is true in Indian culture as anywhere else. So we are going to do what? We are going to just a minute. So we are going to use this one. So marriage is the oldest human institution, is one of the oldest human institutions, and so we are going to break it at two parts. So first is marriage is this here. We are going to break it here. Okay. So why we are breaking? Because I'll be telling you that most of us, what we do is we do only one thing, that is, we read very fast between the lines, and we read at actually we do it as if we are reading newspaper, as if we are doing we are reading newspaper. So what we do is like we read very fast. So what we need to do in IELTS is we are going to we are going to read it slow. Why slow? I'll tell you. Because see, this is not about this question only. Other questions when they will come, or other passages when they will come, they will not be so easy as if this one is, right? So we are going to develop a habit in the student that you have to read first of all slow. In the week one, we are not going to read very fast. We are going to read very slow, so as to maintain or so as to get our accuracy level at a particular place. That means we need to be accurate. We need to score up. We need to score more, whether we do it using more time then also. So marriage is one of the oldest human institutions. Now we are going to decipher this only part. Why? Because this is the we have broke the sentence into two parts at this one. So we are going to decipher it. So we are going to say that in Hindi or English that okay, marriage is one of the oldest human institutions. Means marriage is one of the oldest human institutions. Means there are various other human institutions are there. Out of which marriage is one of the things which are there. So marriage, first of all, this part will be there. So marriage is, some people would be saying that marriage is oldest human institution. No, it is not oldest. It is one of the oldest. Means out of many, it is one. First thing. Now the next is, this is true in Indian culture as anywhere else. So people say that this is true in Indian culture as anywhere else means that this is in Indian culture. This is prevalent in Indian culture. So you'll be saying that no, it is not like that. It is like this is true in Indian culture as anywhere else means it is as anywhere else means it is prevalent in rest of the world also, not only in Indian culture. That means that
And this is being only practiced by Indians in foreign country itself.
no, actually marriages are everywhere, of course. So people do marriages everywhere. So it is the similar thing that this is true in Indian culture as anywhere else means that it is actually done everywhere else also. That
Yeah,
marriages.
it is done. But my question is whether Indian are doing these type of practices in foreign country, and
Yes,
is it relatable to the kind of marriage they are doing there in US or UK?
yes, obviously. See, marriages are there in everywhere. Okay, everywhere else means US people are getting married, UK
Yeah.
people are getting married, Russia people are getting married. Everywhere people get married, right?
Okay.
So they are talking about that in that marriage is true in Indian culture as anywhere else means marriages are happening all over the world.
Yeah.
So this is that thing. So you need to understand it. So first of all, this is the deeper meaning of this particular text, which is very simple, which seems to be very simple, but will tell you about the person's level of understanding, that how this person is understanding and whether he is understanding completely or not. So once he or she would be understanding, then you can move ahead and you can talk about the other things. So
So
now
we are talking about the literal meaning of this passage or inner meaning of this passage.
we are talking about the exact meaning of this particular lines, these
Exact.
particular lines. Yes. So marriage is
Okay.
the oldest human institutions as it is, and this is true in Indian culture as anywhere else, means that marriages are done all over the various countries, okay, all over the world. Now, in
Yeah.
India, marriage called Kanyadan or donating a virgin is thought to be the greatest sacrifice that a father can make. Now, you try to understand that in India, if we talk about India, so it is the greatest sacrifice that a father can make. What? Marriage, okay, or Kanyadan or donating a virgin. So donating a virgin means donating a girl is thought to be as the greatest sacrifice that a father can make. That means this is the sacrifice which a father makes when he donates his girl to someone else. Okay, so this is sacrifice for a father, and for the groom, it is an obligation. Now, what is obligation? Now we are breaking it at end and we are moving on next. For the groom, it is an obligation to perpetuate his bloodline. So it is like for the groom means for the bridegroom, that is the person who is getting married, the male member, and it is an obligation. What is an obligation? Can anybody can tell me? What is an obligation?
So, like responsibility or duty.
Yes, responsibility or duty, right? So it
Mm.
is an obligation to perpetuate his bloodline. So it is an obligation to perpetuate. What is perpetuate?
So the
Extend.
Perpetuate.
Continue.
Yes. So obligation means duty. So it is for a groom to continue. It is for a groom as an obligation means duty to continue his family. That is bloodline. Bloodline means what? Bloodline means family. So the answer is not C. Answer is A. A duty for man to continue his family. Is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir. It is. Actually, I do have the book with me right now, so it's
Okay,
been
good.
easy for me.
Yes. So a duty for man to continue his family. This is the answer. In India, weddings are a duty for man to continue his family, not a duty for the father. It is not a duty for the father. A father gives sacrifice, not doesn't conduct a duty. A duty for a man to continue his family. It is, and it is one more thing. Like if in IELTS it is written that the sun rises from the west, and okay, in IELTS if it is written in the paragraph that the sun rises from the west, and you are very much sure that the sun rises from the east, right? I mean, everybody knows the sun rises from the east, right?
Yep.
So you don't have to apply your common sense beyond the context of the paragraph, okay? And you don't have to select answers like that, okay? So do what is written, understand what is written, and answer what is written from the text which is there in front of you. Do not use your common sense or do not write the general truth which you know, right? So that will help you in scoring more. So many of the people would be saying, no, no, it is duty of father. Okay. Why? Because generally it is a duty of father, right? But here it is written that it is a sacrifice which is being made by the father. So you'll be taking it up as a sacrifice as per the text, as per the context. You'll not be taking up as per your own whims and fancies, right? You'll not be saying it as per what you think or what you have learned all around. No, it is about what you're learning from this particular passage. So, as per this passage, it is a duty for a man to continue his family. Okay, so that's why the answer will be this. Okay, am I audible to everyone?
Right. Right. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
Now, the next is divorce and remarriage. Now, I'm not going to explain it to you. I'm not going to explain this to you. You can do it at home. You can understand it how this is done. But you need to, whatever was the main point that I told you, that you need to understand and decipher the exact meaning of a particular line. Then only you will be arriving on the right conclusion. And you don't have to use the common sense beyond the context of the paragraph, but you have to retain your common sense within the paragraph, okay, within the text. But do not go and talk about the general truth or what happened in the real world. That is actually not going to help you. Okay, so this is the first thing. Now, if you, first of all, in the first session, you'll be telling the candidate to do this only these three things because you'll be having limited time, 1 hour, right? So these, after doing these three questions, you'll be telling this candidate to do the rest of the things at home, okay, and he or she would be reporting it back to you that he or she has done this. Okay, this thing. Now the next passage is container trade. Now what happens is like this is a difficult one. The first one, that is Indian marriages, was quite an easier one, and this is a difficult version of the same thing. Now, again, there are three paragraphs which you can read, 3 to 4 paragraphs, in fact. And after reading these 4 paragraphs, there are various questions are there. So there are question number one, two, three, four, five, six. Six questions spread among three areas. As you can see, per question you have to spot, you have to get an answer A and B. I mean, here it is written, choose the best two alternatives to complete the sentences. Okay, so this is the question. The question is the invention of containers. It can be A, it can be B. There can be two possible answers in every one, as it writes that two alternatives. So two alternatives means you have to select two answer options. So two answer
Okay.
options plus this. So in this also two answer options. Probably these two. Okay. So but you don't have to do it here. You have to do it later on, right? So you'll be telling the candidate like if you see if you feel that the candidate easily solved the first one, first passage, so you'll be giving the second one to him. Okay, why the second one? So as to test that how good he works in a difficult in a difficult area. Okay, so if he is doing these three also correct, that means his level of understanding is very good about multiple choice question, and he is very good to go with IELTS. Okay, and if you're not able to complete the first one, that is Indian marriages, then you need to understand that you have to go a little slow with him or her, and you have to make him understand in a better way, okay, than others, and you have to put in more efforts to make him or her ready for the exam. Okay, but if he is doing the first one easily, the Indian marriages, then you will be immediately be giving him the next one, that is the container trade. The container trade can, if probably he would be doing 50% of these right, or not 100% most of the time. So you'll be understanding that okay, his level is much better, but then also you need to train him. As per my experience, what happens is most of the candidates, they do what? They do Indian marriages. Most of the candidates, 50% of them are not able to solve Indian marriages also, right? Because they, as it is not about they being learned or not, it is not about they being well versed with English or not. It is just like that they do newspaper reading. They read the text between the lines very quickly. That's why they fall into the trap which IELTS is waiting them to, waiting for them to catch them, right? And they get caught. So what happens is like you need to go slow and you need to actually talk about the exact meaning of the those phrases and the sentences so as to get the answer, right? So this was all about the first part, and the next is like you'll be immediately then going up onto the next part of it in the half an hour time, and that is like William Comcamba. So here is William Comcamba. So what does that? William Comcamba is an example of true false not given. Okay, what is true false not given question? So as you can see here in the question numbers, there are questions like which are like here. So these are the questions which says that whether these questions are true, false, or not given. Now I'll tell you one thing that these days 10 to 15 questions comes from true, false, not given, just like that. Okay, and it's very important area in reading. You cannot skip that. It's not at all recommended because you need to work on this. And the questions wouldn't be simple, it would be difficult, and then you have to identify whether it is true, false, or not given, which becomes a challenge some of the time. So how to do that? There is a flow chart for this, which I'm going to show you that how to do that. I'll tell you just a minute. Okay, can you see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, we'll be starting with this PPT as you can see this PPT. I'll be putting it onto your Google Drive. You can see it. So at least 5 to 10 questions are expected from true false not given. MCQs are the fundamental questions being asked in almost every other question. Now, multiple choice question. We'll be starting with this. Requesting everyone to please mute. Ankur, I think you are on unmute. Please mute yourself. So then multiple choice questions will come. And this is the first MCQ which we have recently done. It will be going through this. Marriage is one of the oldest human institutions. Okay, then further, here are the answers and here are the tips for the answer, like obligation, means, duty, perpetuate to continue, these all things. Then comes container trade. We'll be going through container trade. 2 or 3 paragraphs will be there. And then we'll be doing the question answers. And then further, we'll be coming on to true false not given. So we are going to
So
do
are we talking about this? This?
Yes, we are talking about the same thing. True false
Okay,
not.
sir. Okay.
Now true false not given, as you can see here, it is true false not given, wherein William comma the thing is there. So true false not given, as you can see, there is a question there on the right hand side and the passage is there on the left hand side. So William Comba had to drop out of the school. He discovered a book featuring windmills on the cover page, which inspired him to try it and build his own windmill. With the help of a cousin and with a friend, he built a windmill. The windmill brought him instant fame, but he was unable to return to the school. However, the news of his electric wind spread beyond Malawi. Now, this is one thing. An education official arranged for him to attend secondary school at the government's expense and brought journalists to the farm to see the windmill. So, now the question is here, journalists from the other countries visited William's farm. Is it true, false, or not given? So, what you are going to do is you are going to first of all see this question carefully. That okay, journalists from the other countries visited William's farm, and then you're going to spot the exact area, which is very important. So first of all, you need to understand that there is a question statement and there is a passive statement. So what is the question statement? Question statement is the question itself, and the passive statement is the thing where you spot the question in the passage. Like in the last lines, you can see here that and brought journalists to the farm to see the windmill. Can you spot that? So this is the passive statement, right? Okay. So here you can see that okay, that somebody brought journalists to the farm to see the windmill. So this is the particular thing from where we'll be deriving our conclusion. Okay, about the question that whether the question is true, whether the question is false, or whether the question is not given. So the same things is written here that there is a question statement and there is a passive statement. Now you need to understand the meaning. So the meaning of question statement should match with the meaning of passive statement 100%. If it matches 100%, then the answer is true. But here we need to match the question statement must match with the meaning of the passive statement. Now one thing you need to understand that we are not talking about the keyword. We are talking about the meaning of the question statement must match with the meaning of the passive statement. If the keywords are matching and the meaning is not matching, then it is of no use. We need to match the meaning, and that also to the extent 100%. If it is matching around 90%, 95%, then it will be again of no use for us, will not be marking this question as true. If the meaning is matching 100%, you'll be marking it as true. Now see, this is the thing which you need to understand that this is the thing, this is the flow chart. So true false not given on the top. First of all, you need to understand on the left hand side, you have to go first of all the moment you'll be getting the question and you'll be reading the passive statement and the question statement. You'll be first of all talking about or you'll be finding it out like whether the meaning is matching 100% between the passage statement and the question or not. If the meaning is matching 100%, you'll be going with true. And if the meaning is not matching, then you'll not go this side, you will go this side, and you'll be seeing that okay, meaning is not matching. Then, as per this flow chart, it says that first of all, check whether it is an opposite meaning or not. If it is an opposite meaning what means what? Like if the question statement and the passive statement are opposite to each other, then it means it is false. And if it is not like that, and if something else is there, so then it is anything else is there, then it is not given. Okay, so this is the crux of the entire true false not given that you need to understand. Okay, okay, so you need to understand this. Now the next part is what we need to understand that opposite meaning or contrary meaning. So what is opposite meaning or contrary meaning? So tell me what is the opposite of white people? What is the opposite of white color? Tabinda, what
Black.
is white? Yes, Ankur,
It's black.
right. And Pooja, what is gray then?
Contrary.
Sorry, sir.
What is if the opposite of white is black, then what
Mm-hmm.
gray is? Is gray is opposite?
No, sir, it's not opposite. Maybe contrary.
Exactly, it is not opposite. Yes, you are right. So what is the opposite of tall?
It's short,
Short.
Short, right? Short
right?
opposite is tall opposite is short, fat opposite is thin. But in
Mm-hmm.
IELTS, what happens is like the opposite of white can be black or can be gray. That means something which is not white is opposite. Okay, so we call it as contrary. Now try to understand. So meaning, so the yes, so the meaning must match 100%, not the keywords. And meaning must match 100%. And opposite meaning of contrary meaning actually people are not able to spot it. If they would be spotting it out, that what opposite meaning means, please mute yourself. Then it will be very easy for them to understand. I'll tell you what opposite meaning is. So now see here, like for example, here is there. Passive statement is given in front of you. He brought journalists to the farm to see the windmill. Question statement is journalists from the other countries visited William's farm. Now let's check whether it's true or not.
So it will be not given, right?
We'll be seeing it. Okay.
Okay.
So first of all, we'll be seeing it whether it is true or not. So let's check the option. True. So first of all, is the meaning is matching? Is it 100% matching? We are going to talk about that. So we have seen that it is not matching. Let's run the other thing that is option 2, that is false. So let's check the meaning of the question statement, whether the question statement is opposite to the meaning of passive statement or not. So here is the passive statement and here is the question statement. As you can see, the yellow says that the yellow colored he brought means visited. Journalist means journalist. To the farm in blue means Williams farm. And to see the windmill, that is an extra information. And for other countries is actually not given in the passive statement. Okay, can you find it? Can you understand this? So he brought journalists to the farm to see the windmill. That means somebody visited from the visited and journalists visited. That's okay. And to the farm they visited. That is also okay. But from the other countries, it is not mentioned anywhere. And to see the windmill, that is an extra information. Okay. So okay, we are understanding this. Now what happens? Is it false? Let's check the opposite or the contrary meaning. If it would have been written like this, that he brought journalists, no. If it would have been written there, then he brought policemen to the house to see the windmill, or any one of those can be there. If he brought the policemen to the farm to see the windmill, then also in place of journalist, if you're writing something else which is not which is opposite or which is not exactly similar to journalist, because there is nothing which is called as opposite to journalist. That's why I asked you the meaning of, that's why I asked you whether gray is opposite or no. So gray is contrary. Similarly, journalist, the opposite of journalist can be something which is not a journalist. That means it can be a policeman, it could be a engineer, it could be a doctor, something else who would not be a journalist. But as you can see, that he brought journalist, but again it is written only journalist, so that's why it is not a contrary meaning. If it would have been written like policeman, or in place of farm, it would have been written like house, then it would have been false. But here it is not false. Let's move on to the next option. So anything else, yes, anything else is there. So we are going for not given because it is not an opposite information. It is not 100% correct also. So that's why it is not given. Is it understood to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, that's good. So this is all about that. Okay, so then in the PPTs, as you can see, there are various other examples are also there. Example number 2, you can make the person understand in an online class. These PPTs are ready for them. You just have to run it, and you'll be easily be making them understand. So this is the passive statement. Like the majority of the people who graduated from the university found it difficult to get a job. Okay, so I'm not going to explain it, but I'm going to tell it that this you can, example number 2, example number 3, example number 4, and then there's explanation. So this is how you are going to run this. Okay, and 1 hour will be absorbed. Okay, so this is how you are going to run these PPTs, and this is how we are going to do it easily. Okay, and this is how the first thing will be completed, right? So is it understandable what I taught you today?
Yes, sir. It's very
Yes, sir.
helpful.
Chalo. So this is just the start of IELTS. Okay, there are various concepts which we'll be discussing on that. Okay, but right now. Okay, and so we'll be now today the class will be getting winded. Okay, so we'll be meeting tomorrow at the same time. The classes will be from Monday to Thursday. Okay, and it would be on the same time, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Okay. So any other questions you have, you can ask general questions. Any other questions you have?
So some disturbance is coming. You are not audible.
Okay, am I audible now? Yes, some disturbance is there. I can also feel that. Okay, so any
Yes, sir.
questions are there? Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, let's wind up then. Thank you everyone for joining the session.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Miss Pooja. Ankur?
Hello.
Ankur, are you there?
Yes.
Hi. Actually, I want to know from where you have get that IELTS ebook.
E-book. What book you are talking about actually?
Actually, sir was showing slides in the PPT passages
Okay,
and
fine,
all.
fine, fine. This book. You're talking
That
about this
that
one.
yeah, that ebook. From
This
where
one?
he was. Yeah, that's one.
Uh, Sir, give it to me. Actually, all of the students who are coming joining Club English, they will get this kind of book. It's just for a practice test, reading, listening, and writing. And
Hmm.
other things are there. Actually, if you have this with you, you can be a trainer at yourself, I guess, because it's everything is mentioned here. So
Yeah,
if you
but
want to, I'm
actually
sorry.
I can't get this hard copy now. So if it is there, there is any soft copy
Yeah,
you
I do
can
have it.
share to me.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. First of all, could you please write down my WhatsApp number so I can
Yeah,
click it and
yeah,
let you. It's
yeah.
9560
9560
3610
3610
76.
76.
Yep,
9560 3610 76.
yep. Just
Yeah,
ping me and I'll send it to you. Okay?
yeah, please. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.